Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2018 career mode. Today we are here for the Mexican Grand Prix, the third from last race on the calendar, and it's a big one because I mentioned it in my last episode. If you haven't seen it, then check it out by clicking the card in the top right hand corner of your screen. Pretty much this is my last chance to score points in the season because I know around Brazil the AI are very strong around there, and Abu Dhabi as well, and I tend to struggle with tyres around Abu Dhabi. I've got more of a chance of scoring points in Abu Dhabi than Brazil, but the tyre wear might cost me some trouble, and I'm under pressure really because I know this is my last chance to make something happen that's in my hands for the championship, and even then we might struggle. This is going to be a tough race. Now, first of all, a small disclaimer, I was meant to be doing a double upload today. I meant to have a video previewing a F2 or Formula 2 mod on the F1 2018 game. The video was uploaded, it was ready to go a couple of hours ago. Unfortunately, it got struck by copyright by McLaren, which was really strange. Lately, every single one of my videos that has Abu Dhabi as a racetrack has been getting hit by them, so pretty much they've all been struck by copyright. And unfortunately, I did a race around Abu Dhabi as George Russell, and it didn't really work out. Here's a clip just to show you guys. 5 lights are on and they are off very quick. 5 lights, but we've got away well. Norris off to a flyer in the Carlin. What a start from Lando Norris. And yeah, pretty much it's just a shame really because it was a good little race and I was happy with the video how it turned out. You know, a little 15-minute video. What I'll do is I'll redo it on a different circuit, probably Spain and or Silverstone maybe, and I'll do that video tomorrow instead. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be releasing tomorrow hopefully if all goes according to plan. So yeah, it's a very good mod guys, and I'm very excited to show you guys. But anyway, back on topic, we are here for career mode. Now this is a big episode, like I said, 3 races to go. This one is important because this is the last one that I can directly probably affect the championship with this Williams car. So there's a lot on the line and a lot at stake. So delving into the laptop then, we have conditions for this weekend which are going to be overcast and sunny, bit of a mix, and it's going to be the same all weekend through. No real big changes here, and generally a pretty consistent weekend in terms of the weather forecast. In terms of upgrades, we've got an upgrade on the car for weight reduction, which is pretty good. That's going to help us out hopefully a little bit around this Mexico circuit. Any little upgrade on this Williams car is going to help us, and if you noticed in the last episode, again if you watched it, you would know that our development is pretty limited when it comes to the Williams car now, so we can't really do many more upgrades. In terms of the R&D tree, you can see there we are second from bottom. Toro Rosso are now last. We've overtaken Toro Rosso, and you've got a bit of a split there. McLaren and also Force India trying to really close that gap to the top teams. You can see there McLaren especially bringing a massive upgrade package to this race. But all in all, it's a pretty mixed up pack, and realistically I'm hoping to just do a decent qualifying session. Now the objective for this one, based off of Friday practice, if that does translate into qualifying, because you know we have to be coy here, because you know in USA we had a good practice pace and good qualifying pace, but that didn't really translate into race pace. We'll see what happens. You know, first of all though, based on practice, I seem to have good pace around here, and also tyre wear / tyre temperature seem to be pretty under control around here, which is good as well. But generally, I want to say the target for this is to basically not qualify on the last row. We've been 19th in all of our qualifying so far for Williams, and the target is simple: out-qualify Stroll, and in the process, try not to be on the last row of the grid and try and improve, especially with the upgrades. You know, we've had 4 upgrades in the last 2 races, 2 of them being for the tyre wear and 2 of them being for general car performance. So with that in mind, my objective is to have a decent qualifying, because also I think around here, you know, if the massive run down to turn 1, you can really do a good start tomorrow in the race if you qualify well. So yeah, straight away we went out 3 runs in this session on the Hypersofts, and this was my first of 3 runs, and to be fair, it was a good little opener, and I was quite impressed with how the car felt. I felt confident, I felt I could attack the racetrack. Straight away we get ahead of Roman Grosjean there and just behind Marcus Ericsson, so a good opening lap as we now move on to our second attempt, and we've dropped down the pecking order a little bit. We're now behind Lance Stroll, still ahead of Grosjean, but we are behind our teammates, so I went out on the track to try and find improvement. We're currently P18 and everyone's set a lap, so currently it's not the Williams cars on the last row, which is decent, but we are behind Lance, my teammate, so I want to try and beat him, and currently we're on for an improvement, a bit of a scruffy lap. I can't lie, I gained time in places where I should have gained time, but also lost quite a bit of time. But we do improve. P17, we get past Stroll, and we are now behind Kevin Magnussen in P17. And I went back out on another set of fresh hypers, and basically we're going to see if I can improve any more as the timer is about to run out in the top right. So first of all, turn 1, you're on a brake, just bang on the 50-meter board, down to 4th gear, and then later 3rd to rotate the front end of the car. Completely sacrifice turn 2 to open up turn 3 and get good exit onto the back straight here with DRS open and now you're looking for the 100-meter board on the right-hand side as your reference point to brake into the left-hander of turn 4. Again, you want to try and open up turn 5 if you can, the right, and then again, little short square on the throttle as you then go down a couple of gears for the double apex right. And it's all about patience through here and just momentum and car flow, especially this section now we go through the twisting bends of sector 2. This is all about having a good car and really attacking the curbs and hoping the car does not lose the back end. I go a little bit wide, they miss my apex through the right hander, definitely about a tenth of a second thrown away if I could have hooked that one up. As we now go into the final sector, this tricky right over the river blind crest really, and then into the baseball stadium. Slow hairpin, second gear action, very, very slow. Got a lot of patience through there, and then into the final corner, third gear action. Get the power down as soon as possible. Keep it to the right-hand side for the shortest run to the line, and we are on for an improvement. And it's going to be a decent qualifying, and it's going to be P16 for the qualifying here in Mexico. Very good lap. Very happy with that one, and we actually get on row at number 8, I think it is. So we're actually not even on the penultimate row, we're a row above that alongside Pierre Gasly, which is awesome. So a really good qualifying session, absolutely thrilled with that considering Lance Stroll got last place. That is a good session for us. And you know what, I was running a default setup with 6.6 wings and all of it. It was literally a default setup and I was very happy with how the car drove. But yeah, that was qualifying and we're now going to move into the race. Let's go.
The air may be thin here in Mexico City, the atmosphere is anything but. The crowd have been chanting and singing, not just this afternoon, but throughout the entire weekend. There's a great love for Formula One here, and no small amount of expectation. Let's hope today's Grand Prix can meet it. It's a 2.6 mile lap here in Mexico with incredible top speeds of around 220 miles per hour and an average lap speed of 121 miles per hour. 17 corners here, 10 to the right and 7 to the left, with a spectacular view for the sellout crowd from the technical stadium section in the final sector. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk briefly about Daniel Ricciardo. They've had to change their gearbox. It's never a good start to a Grand Prix when, right off the bat, you have to contend with a grid penalty.
Fingers crossed that's one failure they won't have to worry about today at least. There's not much of a silver lining to starting down the field with a penalty, but I think they'll be able to make some of that back up over the course of the race.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Hamilton, Raikkonen, Nico Hülkenberg and Perez, Alonso, Bottas, Ocon and Marcus Ericsson, Van Dorn, Verstappen, Pierre Gasly, Martinez, Magnussen, Sainz. They've taken a grid penalty. Romain Grosjean and Daniel Ricciardo. Hartley and Lance Stroll rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right then, here we are on the grid for the Mexican Grand Prix, the third from last race of the season. We start from P14 on the grid thanks to a promotion. We actually jump up an entire row, and it's not too bad. We start alongside Pierre Gasly on row 7, and that is pretty damn decent in my opinion, and our best qualifying in this Williams car by far. Hopefully we can do a good race here today. Strategy is going to be very important, very interesting. Like I mentioned before, I'm experimenting with the default setup, an actual proper default setup. The only thing I've changed is the rider height to 5 and 5. Other than that, everything else is default. And then obviously differential and brake bars are custom to my preference. But let's see what happens. In terms of the strategy today, I want to give myself the best chance in the race. So therefore, as you can see, we're going for the 2-stopper. Now, the 1-stop is seemingly impossible according to the recommended strategy on the screen. So with that in mind, we're going to try and go for the 2-stop strategy here today. We're going to go onto the Ultras, then onto the Supers, and then back on the Ultras at the end. Originally, it was going to be Ultra Super, but I want to try and get the Super Soft out of the way in the middle of the race. Now, I'm kind of hoping the AI do have a 2-stop race or 3-stop themselves, because if they can pull off a 1-stopper, then we might be in trouble with this race. This is my best chance to score any form of points before the season ends, so I need to make this race count. Therefore, we need to be aggressive on the opening lap and really hope we have the pace. But with that being said, the pressure's on. Let's jump into it. It's time for round number 19 for the Mexican Grand Prix. Right, here we go then. We need to get a good start here. The longest straight on the calendar. 5 lights are on and they are off. Decent start actually. Very good to say we're on a slower tyre. I'll take that. Sainz goes past. He's got a flyer in the Renault. We've got the whole shot. We're going to try and get the toe. We're down to P18 here. Car's trying to make the move. hot on the brakes, late on the brakes, down to turn 1, being aggressive. We're back up into P14. Verstappen and Gasly here going side by side. I tried to have a look down the inside. A little bit of contact with Kevin Magnussen, but we are going to stay in front. I'm going to force Magnussen to the right hand side, stay nice and tight to the inside line of the racetrack. Sainz trying to make it 3 wide in the Renault. We're going to take a very deep line into the corner on purpose to try and stop the AI from going side by side with me through here. Meanwhile, multiple 2 wide action here all over the place. Verstappen getting a poor exit. He's on the ultra softs as well in the Red Bull, and he goes defensive. That's going to put him on the back foot. We switch back underneath into the S's, and we get Verstappen, and we make the move up into P13. Yellow flag. Something's happened. I think it's behind one of the Toro Rossos. But all in all, a great start this race. You know, recovering from losing a lot of ground on the pit straight. Even though it was a good start, just couldn't really get that good toe. And we're now P13, tucked in behind Pierre Gasly, who is on hypersoft. So with that in mind, obviously it's going to be hard to keep race pace with these guys. But if I can, that'd be great. So let's see what we're like. You can see they are pulling away on the straights. Gasly's really nicely tucked in behind Ericsson there, so he's going to get a lovely toe. We're kind of a bit far back, and here comes Verstappen. He's looking for a move. He is gaining. I'm going to have to go defensive here on Max. He goes around the outside of turn 1 in the Red Bull, but doesn't quite make it work. And we're going to be able to stay in front of him for now. It's important though to not lose contact with the guys in front. We have to stay on the pace. Good news is Vettel isn't leading. It's Charles Leclerc out front. You can see the train there with the Ferraris. Charles Leclerc's got a massive gap out the front, so that's good news. It means already Vettel is missing out on 7 points from first to second place. If he's even in second, he might be in P4. You never know. Either way, we've got good pace here. We're just about keeping up with this train, so this is good. If we can keep this up and get within Gasly's DRS, that'd be even better, just to make it a little bit easier on my car, fuel and tyres. There we go, personal best, and we have got DRS. So it should be pretty simple to stay ahead of Verstappen this time around, which is good. Let's try and close down the gap to Gasly. Another personal best. Staying within the DRS of Pierre Gasly here, which is good. And Verstappen trying to catch me, but this time he's actually found a bit of pace. He's close enough here to go for the move. I'm going to have to cover off the inside. Late on the brakes though. I'm pretty confident on the brakes around this circuit, and we do stay in front of Max Verstappen for now. And this straight should be pretty fine to stay in front. I've got good traction onto this straight. I think that should be fine. There we go. Okay, there's a Ferrari at the front of this train going slow. And I think he's battling with the Mercedes, but it's bringing everyone together. And on my strategy, this is helping out. So this is good. Hopefully this can continue. Still running at a strong pace. I'm able to hang on to Gasly quite nicely. Sector 3 is my weakest sector, but other than that, we're looking pretty good. Verstappen's going to try and go for the move here, so I'm going to force him to the left, get out of the slipstream, try and make him get some dirty air. Some air in his face, basically, and slow him down a bit. And we managed to hold on again quite comfortably. Setting myself up for the exit, as always. And there we go. Once again, we've managed to survive the storm. Front left getting a little bit hot, so we've got to be careful. As Gasly and Van Dorn here go to war. So let's try and watch these tyre temperatures if we can, because we need them to stay alive. Okay, this lap definitely everyone's going slow. Cars into the pit lane. Good chance to get a nice toe here from Gasly. You can see how much we lose on the straight in the initial phase when they accelerate. I'm going to try and follow Gasly's slipstream. Verstappen trying to go for the move, but he can't get the momentum in the slipstream. And once again, we stay in front. Into turn 1. A little bit of battling going on here, but we're now up at the P12, so progress is being made. Again, let's make sure we stay in front of Verstappen if we can. It's important. And there we go. That should be fine. Okay, we've got one car in the pit lane. It's a Ferrari. Which one is it? It's Sebastian Vettel. Interesting. So Sebastian maybe going on an aggressive strategy. Meanwhile, Verstappen again side by side with me here. It's a full-on drag race down to turn 1. We're going very late on the brakes to stay in front and keep the track position. Verstappen looking for the move around the outside, but it's not going to happen. And we managed to stay in front yet again. Good stuff. As Gasly now goes to battle with Stoffel Van Dorn in the McLaren. And he's got him. We are 1 position off the points here. Making great progress this race. And still battles going on. The field's very close together. More cars in the pit lane, which is good. Now we're really jumping up the positions. We're all the way up to P6. Verstappen again trying to have a look, but he's not so close this time. We're able to save fuel on the RS. Now Pierre Gasly comes in. Another pit stop. More cars in the pit lane as well. Van Dorn, I think he will have DRS though, so he's going to be pretty good for now. But we are gaining on the McLaren here quite a bit. Quite a bit. Jesus, that McLaren's still not doing great on the straights after all these seasons. I wonder if we could have a go maybe through here at Stoffel if we get a good enough exit, and it's not too bad, but he's got a good exit of his own. He's on ultras as well, so it's kind of important that we get past Stoffel if we can this race, because he's someone that we're racing on strategy. Looking at my tyre wear, I'm going to switch to a one stop. I meant to come in this lap, but looking at the tyre wear, if I can get to lap 16, which is definitely possible, I'm going to be on the one-stop strategy, which is what I want. So we're going to switch on the fly to a one-stop strategy. Tyre temperatures are managing to hold on, which is what I'm looking for pretty much. So I reckon we can make this work. Manage to stay within DRS on Van Dorn. This time Van Dorn won't have DRS, so he should be a little bit more defenseless. Verstappen is lurking in the distance, but he can't get the run on me because I'm getting such a perfect bit of momentum off of Stoffel. Right, I'm gonna try and follow Van Dorn if I can. I'm in no rush to pass him. I want to try and see if I can save some fuel, because I'm realizing it's very important. I should have fueled the car more at the start of the race, and I want to have fuel for later on when I'm on the super softs. So let's see if we can run it in lean mix for a bit while staying within DRS distance of Van Dorn. Temperatures are under control, which is good as well. You can see there, that's exactly what I wanted. Keep the temperatures managed, and I've been able to do that, which is critical in this particular situation. So yeah, right now we're looking good. Just basically following Stoffel Van Dorn and mirroring his strategy. I think Ericsson as well is going to be on the same strategy, but I think he's a bit too fast for us. Here we go, DRS on Van Dorn. I'm going to try and stay in standard mix. Leclerc's behind us, he's the net race leader. I'm now going down to lean mix. Let's try and save a little bit of fuel and the DRS if we can while we've got the chance. Verstappen might have come in, or he's been overtaken by Leclerc, which is also possible. Leclerc is lurking in the distance behind me. He's going to have a look, but I'm going to try and keep him behind if I can. Hopefully he can pass me later on. Right, here goes Charles Leclerc, then he's going to make the move. Pretty straightforwardly, to be honest. I'm not even going to fight it. Look at the difference in speed. I'm just going to try and get his slipstream if I can and avoid using rich mix. We've only got 3 more laps to go, which is good, so we can make this work and save a bit more fuel. This is working out beautifully at the minute on strategy. It really is. Got Verstappen battling Ricciardo behind us as well, so that's going to work out in my favour. And then you've got the 2 Ferraris, but on track we're ahead of Sebastian Vettel at the minute. Leclerc there on the move, trying to get past Van Dorn. Side by side, Van Dorn getting put on the outside line. All lock up on the front left, they've got to be careful. They're still side by side here. Got to be careful with this. Leclerc just shoves off Van Dorn. And they're still side by side, but Leclerc's just got in front. All this time I've been able to stay in lean mix and save fuel. Dirty air kicking in there mid-corner, got to be careful with that. Van Dorn will have DRS from Leclerc this lap, so I'm going to leave it in standard mix. I'm not going to delve into the rich. I reckon I can still pull him back on the straight a bit here. But we're now 2 laps away from our pit stop. Just starting to struggle my tyres now. But having said that, we've managed to make it work. Last lap then, and we're going to come in this lap now. I'm going to use rich mix. I want to try and close the gap to Van Dorn, who's pulled away a bit. Looking at my tyres, everything looks good, which is good stuff. Going to close the gap to Van Dorn here. I wanted to try and pass him this lap into turn 1, but I've just started to run out of tyres and I haven't been able to get close enough. Right, we've managed to make it work and switch to the one stop. We're going to follow Van Dorn in. Kind of relying on the Williams crew really to give me a quick stop. There we go, into the pit lane. Right, Van Dorn is a little bit further ahead than I'd like. Our pit box is the first one, which is an advantage to have. But here we go. Right, there we go. Good stop, 1.9. Good stuff. Can we get Van Dorn? Yes, we do. Right, we've got Van Dorn in the pit lane. Good stop from the boys, and that is what I'm talking about. Good stop from the Williams mechanics. And now up to speed. We're down to P14, which is pretty far down, but there's a lot of people having to do another stop. So let's try and make it count. There's Van Dorn, who's going to rejoin just in front of that Haas, which is good. Now we've got to try and switch these tyres on while they're cold, which is something I've struggled with the entire career mode, but I should be okay. Power down, DRS, which is going to help me out as well. And that's us in front of Stoffel Van Dorn. Great stuff. And this is why I saved up that extra fuel. There's Verstappen in the pit lane. I want to try and pull to the right hand side, try and break from Van Dorn's slipstream. I need to try and break the 1 second barrier if I can. That would really help me out. Personal best 15.6. I can't shake off Van Dorn though. 8 tenths behind. I pulled away, but I need one more strong lap. We match our personal best. Van Dorn though is just hanging in there, and I can't shake him off. This is the frustration with this car on this track. This time I've not gone overtake or rich mix. You can see how much Van Dorn's closed up. But I can't do this forever. I need to save ERS and fuel. Still a long way to go in this race. Right, we've got Ferrari in the pit lane. My gut wants to say that Sebastian Vettel, and it is Sebastian Vettel. There he is getting up to speed now, but he's going to be behind us. There's Stoffel Van Dorn now going for the move in the McLaren. We're going to have to cover the inside line, a little bit of contact. I should be okay though. Stoffel goes around the outside. I'm going to just force him round. And that is us in front of Van Dorn. Critically, Vettel is out of the points, which is good news. And I'm not going to make it easy to pass. I'm hoping there's more two-stoppers though. Right, a couple of cars in the pit lane. Grosjean comes in. And we've got Raikkonen there as well. That's going to promote us into the top 10 and into the points. Right then. This is interesting. And I still think there might be more people yet to pit. I'm not 100% sure though. Ooh, multiple cars in the pit lane here. Lots and lots of cars. This is it. This is what I was talking about. Look at this. We're up into P6 in this race now. Here comes Van Dorn yet again. We're going to have to switch over to the inside and try and cover it off. Should be okay for now. Show him the long way round into turn 1. Late on the brakes. Go for the squeeze and job done. But we are P6 in this Mexican Grand Prix. There might be still more pit stops to come. We never know. More cars in the pits. 3 cars to be exact. Potential podium. Van Dorn is close this time. Here we go. Hamilton leaving the pit lane. Van Dorn goes for the move. This time he's made it work. We're 3 wide momentarily. Van Dorn gets the overtake off. We need to get this one back.
Lance is in for his stop.
Oh, Van Dorn locks up. That is a treat and a peach for me. Lewis is all over the back of me in my car. What has been my car all season long. I'll let Lewis go. But we were momentarily on for a podium in this race. These points are so critical now. We have to take these. We have to defend for whatever we have for the remainder of this Grand Prix. We can't let these points slip. Right now we're on for a critical 12 championship points. That would make the difference. That really would. Especially because Vettel's not winning this race. We could wrap up the championship, I think, maybe even in this race. Now I think about it. Yeah, we would. I think we would wrap it up. As things stand, we would be the world champion. We're starting to form a train behind us though, and every single car behind pretty much has either a better car and fresher tyres. So this is going to be a battle and a half. Right, here we go. Raikkonen's going to get the one on me in the Ferrari, and Vettel's behind him. This is going to be very one-sided. I need to get that toe off of Kimi if I can to stay in front of Sebastian. Vettel goes for the move down the inside. It's very close between the 2 Ferraris. I want to go back around the outside of Sebastian here and try and hold on to that position. We've lost the place to Kimi now, but we're still looking good. Here comes Seb. A little bit of contact there. Hulkenberg trying to go around the outside, but I'm going to defend the line. Good stuff. And now Hulkenberg's in front of Sebastian, which is good. Hulkenberg to the inside. He's going to try and make the move here. Let's try and pick up a slipstream on Nico if we can. I tried to go back up the inside there, but that was never going to happen, unfortunately. Let's just try and set ourselves up here for a good exit and try and follow Hulkenberg. Lose his slipstream. Here comes Seb. He's going to go for the outside. It's going to take a lot more than that, buddy. I've got that every day of the week. We're getting there. We're getting closer to the finish line. Perez is behind as well, so Vettel I think is 51 points behind. So as long as the gap stays like that, in other words, Vettel doesn't outscore me, I win the championship. So it doesn't matter if I lose places, as long as I lose them with Sebastian and I force him down, then that's all I need. Right then, this is the moment of truth. Sebastian's pretty far back, which is good. I reckon I should be able to stay in front of him. I'm going to try and give Van Dorn a bit of a toe if I can. But we comfortably stay ahead of Sebastian. I'm quite surprised. I wonder if Seb might have front wing damage maybe. Dare I say, it feels like Sebastian might have front wing damage. I keep pulling away in that middle sector. Something's not right. Seb's dropped off the pace. I think he's locked up. He's lost pace. He's out of my DRS, which is good. Which means I don't have to use the high engine mode, so I can save a little bit. But yeah, Seb is 1.6 behind. Something's happened there. He's lost time. Right then, this might be my chance to break away. This could be it for the championship. This is critical. And Ocon has passed Sebastian Vettel. So Sebastian must have car trouble. Right, I think Vettel isn't within Ocon's DRS, so that's fine by me. Ocon's going to absolutely kill me on this straight. I'm never going to bother going to high engine mode. Look at the speed difference. I'm just going to try and get the toe, basically, and keep the gap to Seb, who's now been overtaken by my former teammate, Valtteri Bottas. Go on, son. Get that one done for me. Yes, please. And there we go. Seb's lost another place to Valtteri. Sebastian only P9 now. He's on the brink of dropping out the point. Something's wrong with his car, 100%. I don't need to run low engine modes now. I can run standard engine modes because I've got fuel in ERS for days. Now it's all about managing things. I don't care if I score no points. Sebastian's behind me, and that's the main thing I want to do. Right, Bottas all over me now on fresher ultras. We're not even going to fight it. Let him go. Hopefully he can chase down after Ocon. Sebastian Vettel now is about to be out of the points as he gets overtaken by Stoffel Van Dorn. This is it for the championship. This is huge. And Van Dorn, I think, is through. Yeah, he's done it. Sebastian Vettel down to P11, out of the points. He needs something special now, and he needs it quick. Now that Seb is out of the points, I'm going to try and bring home these points that I do have to my name. Alonso and Sainz are all over the back of me here, but I want to try and bring these points home. Sainz is going to get the move done very early on the straight, which is going to give me the chance to come back at him in the slipstream, even though he's got DRS. Alonso, oh my god, Sainz just blew up. Oof, that was so close. That could have been catastrophical. That would have brought Sebastian back into the points. And that would have retired me from the race after such a great performance. Such unlucky luck for Sainz. I'm actually a little bit scared. Oh, I completely flat life flashed before my eyes there. I just managed to dodge Sainz, and he's out. Right. Alonso now all over behind me here, all over the back of me, the former two-time world champion. That has brought Sebastian back into the top 10 into the points for a single championship point, but like I said, we're fighting for this now, so we're still on for 2 points ourselves. Alonso's dropped off here. He might have trouble with his car, and Vettel now is lining him up for the re-overtake. Will he get him before the yellow flag? He's literally pulling alongside now. I think he's just got it in time, but Sebastian Vettel re-overtakes Alonso, and now Seb is in P9. Is he coming back for a late charge with a damaged car? You never know, but I've got enough pace, I think, to stay in front, and I can keep this gap that we've got right now. That's my second track extend of the race. I've got to be careful now. I can't pick up any more, otherwise I'm going to drop behind Vettel. I'm on my final warning. That's going to really not help at all in terms of trying to pick up the pace here. 3 laps to go. We can do this, come on. Oh, we've got another yellow flag. And there's Nico Hülkenberg going slow in the other Renault. And there's a slow moving car. Raikkonen's out of the race. What the hell is happening now? We're back up into P6. Hülkenberg's got a puncture. Raikkonen's pulled over. And all of a sudden, I'm into P6 and Sebastian's back into P7 now. But he's been held up by Hülkenberg all the way through that slow section. Oh my days, what is happening in this race? Crazy, crazy race. But Vettel is now P7 and we are P6. As it stands though, we should still do the job. Oh my god, Sergio Perez is out as well. I mean, he was pretty much out of the championship after this race anyway. He wasn't really a threat, but that's a championship contender down right there. Perez in his home race retires. And we are down to 17 runs in this race as Gasly has got past Sebastian Vettel now. This race is something else. What the hell is happening here? Right, here we go into the final sector. The confetti flies. Charles Leclerc has won. Carlos Sainz now out of the race, confirmed. But here we go through the final couple of corners. If my maths is correct, this is it for the championship. Final corner on the power. We come home P6 and we are the world champion in Season 4 of Career Mode. Oh my goodness, what a race that was. Oh my god.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion.
Yes, guys, there we have it. We are the world champions. Charles Leclerc wins at Mexico ahead of Lewis Hamilton, my future teammate, alongside Marcus Ericsson on the podium. Esteban Ocon, Valtteri Bottas 4th and 5th. We come home in an incredible P6. That in itself is an incredible achievement. Ahead of Pierre Gasly, Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen and Kevin Magnussen. Lance Stroll P13 there, my teammate. And further down the order we have 3 retirements in the form of Carlos Sainz, Kimi Räikkönen, Sergio Perez, and then also Ricciardo right at the end. Also, Nico Hülkenberg a lap down with that puncture. So 5 retirements in the end that race. And also in terms of the driver standings, as you can see, we are 61 points clear with 2 races to go. Therefore, mathematically, it's impossible for Sebastian Vettel to win the championship. Also for Sergio Perez, whose hopes end here in his home race with that retirement as well. And then the constructor standings, as you can see, Mercedes already won in the last race, and we have scored the first points for Williams in a long time. They're still rock bottom, and there's a long way to go before we score any more points or even overtake Haas. But all in all, that is it for Season 4. Sauber overtake Force India for P3 in the championship. But what a season it's been, guys. A roller coaster of emotions, contract negotiations, you know, and just a general conflict with the 3 driver contracts at Mercedes between Hamilton, Bottas and myself, and, you know, us having to move to Williams. But we've pulled through. Mercedes won the constructors, we won the drivers, everybody's happy, and we've now got 2 more races to go to just basically see out the season in style. And then next season we go again alongside Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes, and I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a challenge and a half. But that is it for Mexico. We're now going to move into the laptop. Right, so here we are then on the laptop, and as you can see, we have won the World Drivers' Championship confirmation. But now let's look at the R&D tree and get some upgrades on the car. Right, so here we are then on the chassis side of things. We're going to try and go for this minor weight reduction upgrade. We're going to get that on the car for the next race in Brazil. And after that, pretty much, we're going to save as many points as we can. I'm going to try and cover Williams in the durability for the regulation change next season. That's the plan. And basically let them off. And hopefully they can go into next season with a bit of a reliable car. So actually, we're going to do a few of these now. We might as well, because no reason why not. Might as well get a couple of them on the car. So we'll go with the gearbox, get that out of the way. I can get one more. Can I get a cheap one? We'll go for the control electronics. No. Someone. Okay, there we go. That's one. That's a cheaper one. There we go. Right, so we can start covering them, so that way they're not affected too badly. But all in all, that is going to be it. You can see we take a little jump. We should go neck and neck with Haas at the bottom of the table. Maybe even just overtake them. But all in all, that is going to be it for this episode, guys, of Career Mode. We have won the championship with 2 races to spare. What a performance. And now, really, we put eyes on next season. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, then please do drop a like on the video. Also, do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 content and turn on notifications to not miss a single video from me. Also, check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching this episode of Career Mode, and I'll see you on my next one very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.